Welcome back to Moon or Dust, episode 15. We missed one last week, so this one's 15. It's technically supposed to be 16. What's good, Bolds in the audience? Hola. Let me paste the link here. We are back. NFTs are doing well. We got some token pre-sales. We're going to be joined by a special, I can't speak, guest today, Jen, to talk about some blast farming. So we got a ton going. But before that, how you doing, Ash?
What's up, dude? Does my mic sound okay? Do I sound like good enough?
Yeah, no, it's good for me.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that my mic sounded all good. But yeah. So we missed last week because you were in Dubai, right? So why don't you give us like a little rundown of how that was? Because we only talked about it briefly off stream.
Yeah, no, dude, Dubai was great. How did you deal with the jet lag when you came back from Japan, dude? I was absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, it was like I got sick, so like it was basically like 2 days of full miserable. So it was kind of bad. I'm sure it was worse for you.
Yeah, I would get so tired. I would have to immediately, I'd go lay down for a nap, like a 15-minute nap, and I'd end up sleeping for 6 hours, and I'd wake up at like 1 a.m. fully awake, ready to go. So I would just get out of bed and start working. But Dubai overall was good, minus the storm. I'm sure you saw the tweets of people tweeting about,
Yeah.
dude, our Airbnb got completely flooded from the second floor down into the first floor. They cleaned it up, to their credit, very quickly. Like, we abandoned ship, we went to a hotel, but I saw some other guys. What do you mean runes are dead? That's just clickbait, sir. That's what we call clickbait. We're going to talk all about runes, don't you worry. Yeah, no, I saw like the Pixelmon guys. They literally had to walk through 3 feet of water. A bunch of people got stuck. It was hectic, but overall, I really enjoyed the trip. I mean, I'm considering moving to Dubai purely for tax purposes, because Canada now, they're raising capital gains tax. And one of my friends was telling me like, oh, this investment's going to make us like $250,000. And he's like, oh, except for you, it's going to be like 100K after taxes. I was like, okay, yo, that's it. I need to get out. Yeah. But overall, dude, it was a great trip. Amazing contacts, amazing networking, good events, meeting people. I saw some mixed opinions. I saw somebody tweeting how like they didn't enjoy it, the IRL stuff. But I think these events, you got to make the best of it. You have to be proactive, and you have to sign up to all events and go to stuff. And like, I'm not a sociable person IRL, so I have to force myself to chat. But yeah, overall, very good trip. Hope to see you in Singapore. I'll probably do Singapore, and then if not, Art Basel in Miami, sir.
Yeah,
we've never met. We've never met.
Yeah, I know we haven't. I haven't met a lot of people. And one thing I will say, it's kind of like to your point, I do think that like if you go to IRL events, you definitely have to go into it with like a plan. And like I think a lot of people will go and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm going and like I'm going to meet like all these people," and then it like doesn't meet their expectations or something because they have like unrealistic expectations. But yeah, no, it'll definitely be cool to meet up soon. But yeah, I mean, we have a couple weeks worth of stuff to go over. Obviously, the big thing that happened when you were gone was the Bitcoin halving and runes, which I am currently down a significant amount of money on. So we can start wherever you want.
Yeah, I think I want to let's just go over the NFTs, because we had some. We didn't have that much this week. Let's go over the NFTs, and then we can get all into runes, because I feel like that conversation is going to last a little longer. And then we're going to be joined by Jen for blast farming. So let's just quickly go. How do I do this again? Let me pull up. I got to share my screen. Share screen window.
I could fall asleep right now for sure.
Yeah, you're really tired. You were mentioning before the show you're tired.
Yeah. I'm
did you not sleep last night?
Up late. I'm addicted to the game. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my new thing. I'm in love with the game. I have to keep telling myself that.
There you go. So we had a few minutes this week. Have you been playing Saku Monsters?
No, when I asked you offline if I should pay any attention to this, you told me no, so I didn't. And then now,
what? No, absolutely no. You asked me if it's happening soon. I said no. The token.
No, I said no. I literally asked you. I was like, should I pay any attention to this? And you were like, no. And so I didn't. And then now,
dude, no, 0% shit, dude. I've been farming. I bought monsters. I made a video about farming it, dude. I'm super bullish
What
on
the
this.
fuck?
No, you
Dude,
asked me. You asked me if there's an investment opportunity.
no, I specifically asked you. I was like, so Saku Monsters, because I kept seeing it and I was like, should I pay? This was exactly my question. I said, should I pay any attention to this? And you're like, no. And you must have been doing something else and not paying attention to my question.
Probably, dude.
And because
Probably.
I remember like when you said it, like I heard like a little typey, and you're like, no. So yeah, dude. So I didn't even like pay any attention to it.
Okay, well, my bad. Yeah, no, I've been farming this. So for stage 1, you farm for free. You just tap the egg, and now stage 2 is they have their monsters. You had to purchase them, so you have to buy gems. 40 gems per monster. I believe it was like 0.25 soul at the time. They went up to like above 1 soul. They're currently sitting at 0.84 soul. So they're doing great, and I've been farming the game. So basically, you get an egg, or you could buy eggs. You can't buy them anymore; they're sold out. I only managed to buy like 4. I literally got off my plane and then just started buying eggs. Um, yeah, I only managed to buy 4, and then you play a little mini game, and it allows you to hatch them. And these are also giving you points for the airdrop. So there's going to be an eventual airdrop, so you can collect them. I mean, you could buy them on the secondary. I'm going to wait for prices to go down. I'm going to see which ones I get because I haven't hatched all my eggs. I got there's rarity too. But dude, I love this team. They're, I don't want to dox where they're from. I know where they're from. Okay, I've met them IRL. I really like this team. So I'm bullish on them. Yeah, I don't know why I would have told you no. I guess I really wasn't listening.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? Like I literally
You'd
asked
like
you
it
about
too,
this.
dude. Like, look at it. It's like Pokemon. It literally looks like Pokemon. Like they evolve as a little town. This is exactly you.
Dude, I asked you like straight up. That's actually like not gonna lie. Like that kind of makes me mad because I remember yesterday like a lot of people were talking about it in Discords and I was like, but Gorilla told me that I shouldn't care about this. And the thing at the moment I had so much stuff going on that I was like, I didn't look into it deeper, but like, yeah, you suck. Anyway, nice to know that you're farming eggs and I'm not because I didn't do it.
Get wrecked, fool. No, yeah,
Not cool.
sorry. I think no, dude. I think it's the way you phrase it. I think you asked me for like a collab or something. I told you, yeah, there's no
No.
whitelist collab.
No, I asked you specifically. I remember this like it was 5 seconds ago. It was literally that question, but we don't have to.
Anyways, yeah. So Saku Monsters minted, absolutely crushed it. If you weren't paying attention to this, I feel bad for you. No, they did well. I'm really happy for them. They're gonna have more eggs in the future, so you're gonna have more opportunities to get in. After that, although they got to work, there's gonna be dilution, so I'm gonna wonder how that's gonna play out. But we also had a free mint, Calamity. This is a roguelite game, cool game, and minted. Nothing crazy, right? People aren't, especially it's on ETH. People aren't going to freak out. It's at a 0.05 floor, but nice to see another gaming project, have a successful mint. It was free, so it was bound to mint out. Other than that, this week I didn't pay too much. I had whitelist for this one and I missed it. I saw some people posting about it. Wizards on Bitcoin. I don't know if you had this one. It did
Yeah,
good at the beginning, and now what was the mint price for this?
don't know.
Did you mint it?
No,
Oh, okay.
but they
Cool.
look like they're going down in price.
Yeah,
And not gonna lie, do you like this art? Do you think these
I
are
do
cool?
not. No, I do not.
Okay, yeah, same.
Yeah.
I would not have been to this.
Well, I think it was flippable.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. Even if I could make money on this, I wouldn't flip it.
I mean, I was trying, but I missed the mint by like an hour.
I would. I
I mean,
would
I
not.
don't dislike, like it's unique. There are,
I would
but
have.
yeah,
I
the
never would have
colors
wanted
and
this to touch my wallet for any reason, even to
it's
make
free
money.
money. It's free money
No,
there.
no, even to make money, I wouldn't have done. No.
And then the other mint we had was Elixir, which these kind of been on a weird roller coaster. They went under 2 Solana. So this is for the Elixir Launchpad. It's a game launcher, but it's also going to be a launchpad. And yeah, if these go lower, like I'm just going to pick some up. These get you access to their launchpad, so you won't need to hold their token as long as I believe the Elixir. I guess maybe they're holding something, but they do empty, and then you could buy additional elixirs, not the capsule here, but the elixirs, and it's going to allow you to get into future deals that they're going to be doing without having to hold the tokens. So I think when they announce some of their first deals, if they have some good ones lined up, like these can do extremely well. So this is definitely something I'm keeping an eye on. And also a free mint. Great to see them. They're currently at 3 Sol, which is what, like $450 or something at current prices. They went all the way up to 5. But yeah, they're on a bit of a up and down here. But I do think there's a lot of value behind these. So definitely one I'm going to keep an eye on. And I think those were the mints for the week that everybody was talking about. I know I see Panda in the audience mentioning it as well. We have Cocody coming out very soon in the mint starts, whitelist mint starts. I think I have whitelist for this, so I definitely need to mint it during the show. In 20 minutes, it's going to be minting. These guys are going to be launching their token through Seedify. They're powered by Immutable. The game looks really cool. They already have NFTs on the secondary market, and it's not like the NFTs are, at crazy prices. I think they're at,
what are they at?
0.08 or something. If you hold 0.067, if you hold 3 of them, it gets you whitelist for this their mask drop.
Okay, price prediction for these then. If the general collection, because I know that the deal is that you have to hold 3 of these ones. Did you not just say this?
Yeah, 3 gets you whitelist for the mask.
Well, okay, yeah, but you also, if you want like increased token allocation, you have to hold 3 of these in 1 mask.
Okay.
Like, so that's like a thing. They're using these as like a booster.
Yeah, I don't know how well they're gonna. I have no idea how to price them. The game looks awesome though. Like the gameplay here looks dope.
Yeah, for sure. Seedify. Hey, Seedify. Shout out. We are here to bring you Seedify.
Launching through Seedify. So that's one that's launching today. There was also this Ooga Booga thing. They're launching like these ships. Did you pay attention to this one?
Ooga Booga? You mean Oogaverse?
Ooga. Sorry, I was thinking of it's one of my investments on Barachain. Oogaverse.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I remember these from last bull. I know that like a lot of people were like hyped about it.
They did well last bull, dude. Didn't they go to like 1 ETH?
They went over an ETH. They went to like 1.5, 1.6, and then they did like their and then they did like another collection, their babies. They did like breeding. They completely copied like CyberKongs at the time. But yeah, I don't know. I find it really weird when there's projects that launch like 2 years ago and then they don't do anything and then they come out and like try to launch more stuff. Like, for example, I thought the CyberKongs thing, like everybody, I mean, I get it. Like, I wish I would have gotten the Prometheans on ordinals, but it's like they literally did like a 4th collection, like cash grab on ETH. And like, I never see anything about them. Like, I never hear anything about, I don't know what they do.
Which one? The Genkai?
Yeah.
But that's a game. That's with it's also with Ronin. It's half on, or 75% on ETH, 25% on Ronin, and they're building like a game.
But did they need to do that? Like, it was
No, I dude, I completely agree. Like I had some pretty not pleasant debates with the team, especially with their price. And I was like, yeah, this thing 20K supply in the bear, like this is not minting out. And they were like going to take. I've had some not fun experiences with the CyberKong collab team. Great people. I went to their event in New York. Like their people are awesome, but whenever it comes to collab, I don't know. I've always had bad experiences. And yeah, they were like, soft threatening to take away my collab. And I was like, dude, I'm just giving you feedback. Like, I want your project to do well. And then they didn't mint out. And I was like, oh, they were like, there's so much demand. Like we can give your whitelist to somebody else. Everybody's begging for it. And I was like, it's the one time I went back. I'm like, so where are all these people that were begging for it? Like, it's not minting out, but they still raised millions of dollars. So like, good for them. But
yeah, it's like that kind of thing. It's like, it's weird to me when there's like, I feel like some of these teams in this space, like their mindset is just like, let me sell you as many NFTs as I can get away with, basically. And so like,
but I think they're also in a bubble, right?
What do you mean?
Like they're doing their own project, like they're in a
Yeah,
bubble. Everybody
yeah,
tells them how bullish it is. When you
yeah,
have a whitelist, everybody's like kissing your feet. Like,
yeah,
so you think you're on top of the hill.
yeah, for sure.
So it can be hard to see the other side.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Um, some
we can move on.
Somebody mentioned here, Elixir, you need to burn the NFT for a chance at allocation. So you burn, there's two, unless they switched how it works. There's going to be like the flask, which empties, and then you have to burn the liquid inside, and then you can go and buy more liquid. And there's different rarities of the liquid. So you don't burn the flask itself. The flask is reusable. It's what goes inside that gets you a new allocation towards something with different rarities.
By the way, I think the Elixir thing is undervalued. I also invested in their most recent round, so
Nice. I didn't have to. I never messaged him back. There's just too many rounds to get into. We're going to
that
talk
one's
about some
okay.
pre-sales coming up. But this one, the one thing I didn't like about it was, I believe is how it works. I don't like when projects have different pricing based on rarity. Like I want to gamble. I want to mint and have a chance to get a rare. You know, I don't want to have to pay extra to get
Yeah,
a more
what?
rare one.
Yeah, not a fan. Wait, can you pull up? I don't want to look it up. I'm gonna let you do it.
Yeah.
Can you look up what their main collection is at? And what's the mint price for that?
I think it varies. Like it's hard to. These are the rewards through Spaceship. I'd have to find my collapsing. I guess maybe these are the prices. I don't know. It's rewards. This thing is hard to understand.
Okay.
It varies, bro. It varies. That's
All
the
right. So
answer.
what's the main collection?
What's it called? Ugaverse? Because it wasn't there multiple. 0.04.
Nah.
Is this it? Yeah, Ugaverse. 0.04.
Bro, why are they launching another collection if their main
Well, it's a
what I
game,
mean?
right? It's a game that lets you win prizes. I don't want to like dunk on this project. I feel bad.
Dude, I just
I
no.
hope they mint out, bro. I hope they mint out and they make millions, and then everybody wins prizes, and yeah.
All right, we got a lot of stuff going on, and Jen is coming on in 13 minutes. So
Yeah. We'll keep pushing. Ash, are you gonna change your PFP? Somebody asks. Parker asks.
maybe next question.
Ash Robin with some hearts.
What's up? Next question.
Cool. So the NFT market in general, doing well. I'm seeing a bunch of people bull post like ETH NFTs are so back. We have something weird's happening, dude. I don't know if it's this insider game again. Bored Apes up 40%, Mutants up 60% over the week. We got Moonbirds up as well, 32% over the week. It does feel like maybe, the classic insider stuff, like, or they were just oversold and people started buying in. But there's a lot of NFTs. Even DeGods are back up. I know they've been posting a lot of content. The one that's not moving for some weird reason is my captains, which I find that strange since they're worth over 2x in meme coin alone, which really triggers me. I feel they just need to add, like, they need to give us some benefits for staking our captains, dude. I want to be able to stake my captain, and the meme coin counts towards stakes. That's locked in these, because right now they kind of don't do anything.
I want go pull up the Skyborn Gems chart real quick.
Yeah, it's what called Nexian.
Yeah, it's right on your screen. But
yeah, these had a straight pump. Does this have to do with their nodes, or what does this have to do with?
I think it was a buyback. But
Okay.
but dude, if you look at that chart, they literally went straight up yesterday. Like they were sitting at 1 ETH and they got bought all the way up to like 1.9.
Yeah, that's
Is
crazy.
that not insane? But
Yeah.
I mean, there were some other projects that had like some other, like Bored Apes, dude. I think everybody kind of thought that 10 was like the bottom. Like when there was so much FUD, like that's what Cyrus always says is like when everybody is fudding it and they're like social sentiment is like an all-time low, like that's when you buy. But I didn't expect these to bounce like this high, because it's kind of like what you said. Like, what's the point? Like, why? Like what is there something coming, or like, why did these just bounce 7 ETH? I don't know.
Yeah, either there's something coming, or like, because sentiment hasn't changed. Like, people aren't all of a sudden magically rich. I think for ETH NFTs to really take off, people need to start feeling rich again. So yeah, right now, is this just going to be another pump and dump, and now they trickle back down to 14? Or is there actually news coming similar to what happened with Moonbirds? But even look at the Moonbird stuff. They announced an acquisition. It pumped to 2 ETH. Now they're at 0.7, and they went down to like 0.4. So you still got wrecked if you're not selling into the pump on an announcement. You get wrecked.
I know we have a lot of stuff to talk about, but never mind. I'm not even going to ask this. Let's just move on.
Sure. So there was a big sale for a CryptoPunk this week. Dude, I did not see that CryptoPunks are at 40 ETH. This one sold for like $12 million. Insane. But
we should buy punks.
Yeah, it's the only one that hasn't moved, I guess, when everything else is moving. Like they are currently at 37 ETH.
You could buy one for 37, dude. That's
38,
not bad.
38.
This is low. This is low. I like punks. And the thing is like those high bids, those high sales, that's crazy.
We're going over this show. Okay, I've already decided we're going to go over our hour because there's too much to talk about. We have Blade of God X announcing beautiful free mint, guaranteed, no first come first serve, low supply. I'm excited, and it's the whole AI and gaming meta. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be happening on April 30th. I have whitelist, so obviously I'm bullish. If I didn't, I'd be super bearish. And then we got a nice some gameplay coming out of Pixelmon. Here, it looks really good. Roguelite dungeon coming later this year. We don't know what the implications are going to be with like Pixelmon NFTs or the Mon token, but overall the game looks really cool, very impressive. Both Ash and I work with Pixelmon. You know, I'm pretty sure you invested. I invested. I hold their NFTs, so we're obviously biased, but really loving what I'm seeing out of the Pixelmon team.
Yeah, looks fire for sure. That new video. I need to tweet about that. I have a lot of stuff I got to do today. Yeah, it looks cool. No, I'll say this straight up. Like with the amount of partnerships that Pixelmon has and is going to get for like staking Mon, like the access to other tokens that you're gonna get, it's crazy. Like I can't even begin to give you the list because it's too many projects. Like it is so many projects. I think that Pixelmon, like quite literally, could, if there was an award for biggest comeback of like any NFT, it would be them. Dude, this DJ guy's calling me out.
Why? Talk about
because
Somo.
He wants me to talk about Somo. It's not on our list, dude.
It is actually. It is. Okay,
yet,
so
though.
first we have My Pet Hooligan. Dude, they stealth dropped the carrot token. Basically, do you know what happened? Apparently, they like Gate went live, Gate.io with the carrot token when they weren't supposed to. That's what I heard. I didn't see it, and then they pulled it. Yeah, last week apparently they like accidentally did that. Then they had to pull it. But then while I was in Dubai, they dropped the carrot token through Coinbase. Amazing. It's very hard to get a Coinbase launch due to legal. They launched it through Coinbase, stealth launch basically. No farming campaign, no social stuff to get their numbers up, and it's doing very well. It's currently at 75 cents. It went above $1 for a minute. I got my airdrop. I got 5 figures airdrop for just holding 3 NFTs. The NFTs are holding up decently well. They're currently at like 0.5. I still have my Zuck bots because I do believe they're going to do something for them in the future. So really nice to see the carrot token do so well. We have some sales happening this week. I know you were uber bullish on Mochaverse. I wasn't the biggest fan of their FDV, 350 mil FDV. It's really high. It doesn't mean it can't do well. Like, dude, this thing could be $1 billion. It will be $1 billion token. Not financial advice, but how many billions is the question.
I don't know. I didn't get to invest, so I'm less bullish now.
Well, they're currently doing a community public sale. Do you need to hold something to do this? I can't access it because it's not available in Canada. Thank you, Canada.
Community sale doesn't sound enticing. I prefer more
but it's a
KOL round.
Yeah, but this is the 350 mil that you were bullish on, sir.
Only if I got in lower.
Here, it's 350 mil FDV, 3-month cliff, 5% TGE, 1-year vesting.
If I'm not a KOL, dude, then whatever.
I just can't get it because I'm not in Canada. I have to travel with a VPN to Thailand or something. We also have the Somo sale going on. Did you do this one?
So this is going on right now.
Yeah.
No, I haven't sent for this yet.
I'm not sure what the FDV is. I think it's higher than the other rounds that they had going. I think
Their
this one's
trailer
100
was
mil plus.
fire.
The trailer looks amazing. I saw your reaction. Great video, by the way, dude. I really enjoyed it. Your reaction video. I watched the whole thing. It's. I watched the trailer through your video, actually.
You hear that? You hear that? Let's go.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Somo guys.
Yeah. There's also the. I don't have the link, but there's the Xborg sale going on as well. Did you invest in this one?
So actually, I did do a video on the pre-sale, but I didn't get into the earlier round, and I'm actually pretty bummed about that because I feel like they have like some really good partnerships, and I don't know what the terms are or anything. Did you invest in this? If you say
I
yes,
didn't, but I got.
okay,
Just DM me about it. I'll send you.
okay.
Because I think it might still be. I'm not sure. And then the other thing I wanted to quickly go was, dude, did you see the Frch Intern? They're calling it, like what he's been posting on social media. The
Dude is
Frch guy is going wild.
Unhinged. I have
Yeah,
been seeing it. So
I don't.
weird.
I don't like here's attacking Somo. They have some beef. Or I don't know what with K Money. Like they're dunking on Degen, the Farcana stuff, like another social fi.
Farcaster. But yeah.
The Farcast, yeah.
Dude, if this were to happen in any other industry, fired so quick. Like this guy is straight shit talking everybody. It's so weird. Are you drinking alcohol?
No, water, sir.
Oh, dude, I'm tripping. Anyway,
it's 10 in the morning, bro.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I don't like this kind of stuff when you're attacking. You know, the token has been selling for very high. Right now it's currently selling at $4, but you cannot trust Whales market anymore, unfortunately, dude. I met some founders in Dubai who straight up told me they were buying their own allocation on Whales market. And the thing is, you don't actually need to hold the token to sell. Anybody can go and sell. And on the day of TGE, you have to put up money. So you have to put up capital. On the day of TGE, you have 24 hours to fill the ticket. So for block games, if you sold it for $2, you could just go buy it for 30 cents, fill your allocation, and then you're making $1.70 per token. Like this was, now I'm sure everybody knows about it now, so you get wrecked. But and you're selling it to the team. Like the team is the one who has to buy it off of you. And they were just doing it for marketing.
Dude, that's actually that's free alf right there. Good alf.
Cool. Let's move into, I know the time is getting short. Let's move into runes. Runes, not ruins, dude. I made a video and I kept saying, first of all, I've been calling it ruins since Diablo 2, okay? I've always said runes. The amount of engagement me mispronouncing that word gave me on my video got like 40K views. I have 300 comments just complaining about how I pronounce it. I was gonna address it, then I'm like, you know what? Let's let the comments keep coming in because it was printing my engagement. It was crazy. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much for all the people who were dunking on me.
Yep.
Runes. So runes went live. A lot of people disappointed. I know in the title I put runes are dead, and I got people in the comments here upset saying, "What do you mean runes are dead?" So it didn't perform as well. Ash, you said you're down. I know. Look, I was in Dubai. I wasn't trading this. I know Boy in Dubai was cooking on them. Sorry,
dude. I'm exit lick for fucking influencers, dude.
For NFT Boy,
bro. I literally am down. Let me actually pull this up real quick, and then I know that we gotta bring. Well, let me ping Jen. Let me just ask her if she's ready. Okay. So runes. Let me look. I am down on RSIC. No, RSIC, I'm up $200. On Satoshi Nakamoto, I am down $4,000. And on Wanko Manko, I am down $2,000.
Look, if you have Naka and Wanko are two that people seem to have really strong conviction on. So I wouldn't
they might have conviction, but they're not buying it, dude.
Yeah,
like it's
you gotta give it time
stupid.
to cook, right? You gotta give it time to cook.
Okay. Dude, let me ask you a question. Did you expect runes to be did you expect ruins to be exactly like BRC 20s? Is that what you thought that they were gonna like come out as? Because dude, to me, when that happened and I saw what they were, I literally sat there and I was just like, I'm gonna buy these, but also like, what is this?
No, I didn't. I thought it would trade more like a shitcoin,
That's
like
what
on Dex
everybody
Tools or
thought,
something.
dude.
Yeah.
Where was the miscommunication? You know what's actually funny is there were so many threads, and like when you go back and look at any threads about runes, like there's like it doesn't like specific, like nobody knew how they were going to trade. And I think it was, I will say it was cool that like Satoshi got like their own like gate, like they're on Gate, so you could trade like on gate.io. But yeah, I feel like this was kind of forced. It was like a forced narrative to me. Like that's kind of how I felt about it. Uh, but I'm holding. So yeah.
I mean, dude, I got mine for free. I have still my runestone. So currently, my
Nice.
airdrop from it, Doggo to the Moon, is worth 4 grand uh, for free. I'm getting random free ones that, like, I don't know how I got Lobo the Wolf Pup. Like, I didn't hold wasn't that the Doors? You needed the Doors one. Like,
How
I just
much
got
did you
airdropped
say that you have?
for which one?
270? Is that what that says?
Yeah, $270 of Lobo the Wolf Pup. Like, I don't know why I
It's
got
not
this
bad.
airdrop to my wallet. Then there's randoms like $30 on this one and stuff like that. All the UX improvements are up to the builders in this bit. We definitely need UX, even on Magic Eden, dude. Like the search here, I want to be able to browse. I don't want to click this and then, okay, at least they got images up now. But I want to see charts. Like I want to be able, how do you know the price history here? I want to be able to look at a chart unless I'm missing it and it's right in front of me. I don't see one. Also, people realize they can split now, so the amount you could buy is starting to go down. That's good, but overall, a lot of people are disappointed. But dude, I know people who made. I mean, I see Callie in the audience here. He's been crushing it. Excuse me, with the content. He said retail buy zone Ash for you. He's been crushing it with the content and trading. Like he was DMing me. He made thousands of dollars trading these. I know NFT Boy cooked while in um Dubai. Okay, the
Cooked
Lobo
what?
airdrop was
Cooked
for
upwards
Runestone
or
holders.
cooked downwards?
Upwards, dude. Five figure profits.
Oh, from airdrops, not from buying.
I think from buying, dude. He was on it.
Mm,
That's what I heard. I haven't spoken to him directly. Somebody told me. I didn't get to meet him, unfortunately, even though we were staying like 10 minutes from each other. Um,
I'm just straight up asking him. If he's in profit and I'm not, then he's the influencer that dumped on me. He's the one. I didn't mint them, so like I kind of can't really complain. Like whatever. It was just
yeah.
yeah.
But overall, I mean, the ones that now everybody's talking about, pups. I think disappointed. My Ape Odysseys got wrecked. I don't know what's happening with that. I have to look into that. But Prometheans is the one everybody's talking about. They just tweeted about it, I guess yesterday or today, where the airdrop is going to be happening on Monday. And these are currently sitting at a 0.09 floor. I received this for free. How much is 0.09? Like 6 grand or 5,500 right now? I don't know. I got to check the price of Bitcoin for free. Airdrop to my wallet. Like this is dope. I'm having a good time. um, yeah. So a question is, how much are you going to be airdropped? I'm not sure. I think it's 90% for the NFT, 91% for the NFT holders, and then you just got to figure out what market cap do you think these are going to go to.
I'm not talking about this.
Alrighty. Well, good segue. Let me get her up here. We've never done the 3-person here. Let me see how it works. Boom. Let's do it like this.
Hey
Like
Jen.
this. There you
Good
go. Hey, what's up,
morning.
Jen?
What
Welcome
up,
to the show.
guys? Thank you. I hear, so Ash, are you getting wrecked on ruins? Like, what's
Yes.
happening?
Yes,
Hey,
I'm down on runes.
I bought the top of pups. So same.
Nice.
The NFT.
No. I was trying to buy on Unisat, and I was just like, I'm not trying to, like, the only fills were like, 6, 7, 8 grand, and I'm like, I am not trying to put this much money in there. So I bought on Sol, and I'm getting absolutely wrecked.
Those darn influencers.
That's the
Oh
other thing. It's like
man.
not limited to Bitcoin. You could do it on Solana.
Yeah, like I know Pups is weird. Apparently, like their Solana
Okay, yeah.
token, I think is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
one
they
to
had one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny because like War Daddy has been talking to me about pups since like pups was at $3. But I tell people this all the time. Like I am not a whale. Like I don't just have like, oh, like here's a fuck ton of money just laying around. I like to maybe before the Pac Moon airdrop, I was like, I have baby bags, but now my bags are like maybe like preteen teenager bags. Like they're not fully ready to like go all degen yet, but it's getting there.
Well, great to have you on the show. We're going to talk about all this, especially your Pac Moon stuff. I saw you dropped a dope video with Min. We're going to get into all that. Let me, I guess, pull up the screen here. Yeah, you've been absolutely crushing the content for
She's
Blast.
gone. You pushed her off.
Oh no! How do you get 3 people? Okay, wait. I got to pick this one. Boom! There you go. Okay, it's because the other one's custom. Yeah, you've been absolutely crushing the content. I have so many questions. I guess the first one is it still worth farming Blast, or are we late to the party?
Dude, it's still early. It's funny. I was on a Spaces yesterday talking about this. But I think it's like one of those things that I really feel like it's going to follow the Blur cycle. I think TGE is going to come in May, and then a season 2 is going to be announced. People are going to see how big the bags are, and everyone's just going to come rushing in. My gut tells me that the TGE will probably be closer to the end of May, even potentially delayed, because as of today, there's only been 2 Blast Gold distributions, and we're still waiting on the second one to actually go out to projects. Blast is also doing like an app multiplier, and they've only released 2 of 12. So I think like over the coming weeks, it's just going to be news. And I think like the other thing too about, perception of being too late is like, did you guys see that Ansem pool where he was like,
No.
So Ansem put up
Oh,
a
the
pool.
pool. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's like, where?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, where are you? If you could only spend your time and attention on one chain in May, like, what are you doing? And like the least amount of attention is on Blast. And I know like one of the big apps coming up that we're all waiting for is Fantasy Top, where you can speculate on like CT influencer engagement and reach. That's recently hit over like 55 million in TVL, and their TVL is just like deposits to Privy wallets that are connected to Fantasy Link or Fantasy Top. And the funny thing is people are like, oh, it's getting so overcrowded, blah, 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 blah. But like everyone who deposited, all they're doing right now is earning like these stars, which are points that are going towards this like first prize pool lottery is what it feels like. And there's like 222,000 Blast Gold in that pool. And if you use NFT stats calculation for how much like Blast Gold is worth, it's maybe $4 million. But that's like not even all of their gold that they have to distribute. So it's like one of those things that it's like, no, dude, it's still very early. And Fantasy Top is like one of those things where you actually won't, like the amount of money you deploy will only help you get better cards. But even if you don't have the best cards, you can still perform really well in the tournaments, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm going to play around. Let me know in the audience which I think this one's the best one. So right now, Fantasy it's paused, right? I heard they got like DDoSed or something. So
they were supposed to launch yesterday, and they were like, there's an unusual amount of activity, so they delayed the launch. We don't know when it is. It's probably, I would think either this weekend or next week, but they're going to give us a new heads up on announcement time.
And this, I feel like I created an account a while back, and then I received a few cards, and I had to like build a deck or something. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was on the testnet.
Yeah, that was on testnet. So basically, how Fantasy works is you purchase packs, and packs, if it's the same as testnet, will come with 5 cards, and then so you start collecting all of these cards, and there's different tiers. Like commons have a 1x multiplier, but I think like legendaries get like 2x on the reach and impressions. And so basically there are tournaments, and within these tournaments, you just create a deck of 5 cards. So you can basically, like if it's like, oh, we think Blast is coming out with really big news, I might add like my card and Pac-Man's card into my deck. So you can actually like kind of also speculate on news, because it's like if Pac-Man tweets, you know, that tweet's going to get a fuck ton of reach, especially if it's like a core announcement. So that's what you're doing in the tournaments. It's like you're.
So the power of your card is based on engagement.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
And like I love it. So I actually just got off of the wait list to have my own card as a hero, and I know they're going to. Yeah,
That's
I know.
sick.
And they're going to decentralize that process, but like for me as a creator, as a hero, I get like 1.5% of all trading fees on my card specifically, and I think I get like a share of like the total fees spent on packs that users are just doing. And what I love about that as a creator versus like other social fi platforms like Frch is like I don't have to do anything different than what I'm doing, which is actually really nice, because I tried doing the Frch thing. I was actually Crypto Gorilla. I was in your Frch room lurking for a bit, but it's like fucking hard, dude. There's so many platforms and it's so easy to just, I'm like, I already have a hard enough time like responding to my IRL friends on iMessage. Like I'm really not trying to like have another platform that I need to like upkeep and engage with. So I'm pretty stoked.
Agreed. Yeah, I didn't realize when you make a Frch, you're just immediately launching an NFT, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, and like
Everybody
people
starts
start buying
demanding
your
stuff.
keys and you're like, fuck, like I
Yeah.
had no plan. I was just trying to buy other people's keys. Like what the fuck?
Or just check out what this is for a video, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So let's start, I guess, with the basics. Let me pull it back up here. Boom. So I mean, I haven't done anything. Okay. For me, this is going to be a learning lesson. I have ETH in Blast. Like I did the whole Blast farming, the original one, but I haven't done any of these. The only one I did is Munchables, unfortunately, and
Oh,
got
no.
hacked. They refunded it, but you know, that was an unpleasant. Everybody was just sending me all these referral links, and the one I chose, unfortunately, was the one that got exploited.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So what does all this mean here? Because it seems like a lot of these already had their gold distributed.
Yeah, so if you scroll up to the top, okay, so the key thing to know is Blast points and Blast gold are two completely different things. Like Blast gold is infinitely more valuable than Blast points. I think the conversion right now is 1 gold is the equivalent of 36,000 Blast points. And so Blast points you are accumulating based off of your TVL on the chain. And that is actually just your ETH and USDB deposit. So you can see that, you know, you have 18 ETH bridged sitting in your wallet and you're earning what? Like over 4,000 points an hour, right? And so to get Blast Gold, you have to interact with the apps that are on Blast. So it's interesting, and I think this is where like Pac-Man and team and the way they think about incentives kind of really comes into play, because basically the Blast Foundation, or the people behind Blast, whatever you want to fucking call it, they are looking at all of the apps on a 2 to 3 week basis, like all of the apps that are deployed on mainnet, and they're looking at on-chain traction. There's objective and subjective like criteria, but basically they look at all of these apps and then they award those apps Blast Gold. And then the apps then take that Blast Gold and then they'll distribute it back to their users. And how they distribute gold is really up to their discretion. But a lot of folks like, so if you are farming Blast, if there is Blast Gold involved, like make sure you're asking the team, like, hey, how are you guys distributing gold back to users? And if they're not giving you a clear answer, then it's like, get the fuck out of there, like go to a different platform. So that's like kind of like the high level like TLDR of what this is. So if you now look at the DApp leaderboard, like scroll down a little bit, like let's look at Juice Finance. So you can see that Juice Finance has already distributed all of their first Blast Gold distribution. Like us as users having visibility into this is more so we can make sure that apps are accountable to like distributing what they say they're going to distribute. And if you click on audit, you can actually see which wallets they distributed how much gold to. So it's like, if you see like, hey, why the fuck did this person get 5,000 gold? You can go check out the wallet, figure out if it was like being rewarded for genuine activity, or if it's like, yo, you guys are doing some like shady insider shit. And so this goes back to what I had mentioned earlier about how we've only seen 2 Blast Gold distributions. The second distribution was announced, I think, Friday of last week. I don't know. It's been a few days, but it's supposed to go out. We're thinking this week. We'll probably get an announcement today. So you're going to see all of those bars go from full to like not full, because all of these apps will be getting gold. And then you can just like, there it is.
Yeah, the 19th. So 1 week ago.
Yeah.
Last Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how gold works. If you click out of that DApp overview and you see the points on the side. So if you have ETH or USDB deposited onto any of these apps, whether you're LPing like on a trading pair on Thruster, or you've deposited into some sort of lending pool or vault, you are still earning Blast points for that. But the projects are just distributing those Blast points to you versus you seeing it in your dashboard. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like there's this Blast Points API, and projects are like, you know, evaluated on, hey, how well did you implement this API? And so if you go on these individual apps, you'll actually see like, hey, I'm going to earn like 300 points within the next hour, and that's going to be distributed to me.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I'll check out that API. Somebody here, Demon, saying it's tomorrow, the next distribution.
I've had a few teams ping me saying it was supposed to be today, tomorrow. Like, gotcha. I mean, it's one of those things that like we're all kind of just going based off of what our dev friends are telling us. Gotcha. But we don't know until they do it.
So I actually have a question for you. Well, I guess it's like twofold. So there's like the active farming, and then there's like passive farming. And I do know that there's also ways that if you deposit ETH into like certain pools, like you can get APR, like you're essentially like getting like a return. So I guess my question here is, what are, in your opinion, some of the passive and active farms to look at? And like, if you're somebody that wants to farm between now and then, I mean, I know we kind of talked about this, but the reason why I ask is because I recently, it hit me, and like, obviously I see Cyrus's tweet and like everyone's tweets and your videos and stuff. And because I know that there's still a month to go, I'm saying to myself, like, okay, I want to farm this because I saw the poll as well. I brought it up to Gorilla yesterday. And I just feel like this is going to be one of those things that is just so overlooked. And I feel like it's lower risk. Like, I think the main risk that you have here is just like exploits, like what happened with Munchables. So I guess the question is like for like lower. So like, what would you say are like the passive and the active like ways that you can go about this?
Yeah. So the thing to keep in mind is it's going to vary from category to category. Like perp dex farming is completely different than lending farming, which is completely different from like spot dex farming. So it's kind of like you look at all the broader categories of like, what do I actually want exposure to? I think that should be question one. But the other thing to note too is like, you will be rewarded most if you're actually active. Like you can kind of see like for Gorilla is technically still farming Blast, but he hasn't actually actively deployed any capital. He has a fuck ton of points, but no gold. And the whole incentive program around Blast is to actually reward and incentivize users that are active on, you know, the app. Like if you're just looking for low risk, super passive farming, just do what Gorilla is doing, which is having some capital in Ether USDB over on Blast and then not touching it. You're still earning yield, right? So you're still making money technically. But in terms of like super duper low capital, like semi-active farms, like the lower your capital is, the more active you're going to have to be. Like the play for you guys would be looking at social apps. So that's District 1, which is like, think think friend tech, but with shares, and like you don't technically have to buy someone's key to actually participate in their chat. You can stake gems. But I've seen like people fucking cook on District 1 with like literally no capital, just from like maybe deploying a couple $100s to buy some shares, buy some soul, like I forget what they call their token, but then they're just like participating in chats and raiding for gems. So that's like a passive, or sorry, that's not passive. That is like low capital, very active farm. I think fantasy is also going to be one of those things because pack prices are meant to stay affordable. And so that's like one that you could probably deploy some capital onto and then just like participate in the weekly tournaments or bi-weekly tournaments, whatever they have. On the DeFi side of things is where I think you're going to find a little bit more of like the passive, I want to supply liquidity and still get rewarded for that. So like that to me is Wasabi, which is this like leverage, like it's a margin trading platform where you can like trade on assets with leverage, and they have earn vaults. So you can deposit USDB, ETH, yield, like all these Blast native assets into their vaults and earn that APR, like you said. And like you'll be rewarded for LPing there. Another one that's like super passive is Blast Futures, which is PerpDex. They have a really cool like USDB vault that's actually like the highest interest that I've seen on a vault for USDB. Like you could earn, I think when I checked it the other day, it was like 53% on your deposits, which is pretty cool. But like the one thing I will caveat that with, like their vault is not you stick your capital here and it's idle and you're just earning this magic internet money. Like they actually take that liquidity and use it to fill the order books, which is why the APR is so high. Like sometimes it drops really low, but for the most part, it always recovers. So like those are kind of like the two different strategies, right? But then the other thing to keep in mind is we know that Pac-Man and Blast will be rewarding Blast Gold and points to NFTs and other Blast native assets. So that could be project tokens, that could be community tokens, like potentially Pac-Moon. We don't know when that's coming. We don't know what that mechanism looks like, but they have already said like gold and points will be distributed separately for these assets. So I think we're going to see something around that in the next couple of weeks, which is why Ash, you're seeing people like Serious NFT Stats like mint their own NFTs on this platform called Blaster, because Blaster is basically where you can go mint an NFT by locking up ETH for a period of time, and then at the end of that period you can get your ETH refunded. It's pretty sick. And this is enabled because Blast has native yield. And so I think we're going to see a lot of new metas pop up too.
Yeah.
I saw a few people doing this NFT thing. There's Mooncat, Cyrus Franklin, and NFT Stats who are doing this. And yeah, like you said, you put in money, but then there's a refund mechanism where you just get your money back and you're essentially farming. This is a strategy I did on Frentech as well. We all bought one person's keys, and it was like a gentleman's agreement, and then we all sold in reverse order. So we all farmed points, nobody got wrecked, nobody got dumped on, and you were all able to sell out. So this does sound like a cool strategy that you could deploy.
Yeah, because you're going to get rewarded from Blaster for having, ETH locked up on their platform. So like that's gold coming to you, right? And then it's like once they add in this reward mechanism for Blast native assets, that's going to be another stream of gold coming to you. So actually, now that I think about it, if you have the capital to deploy, this could be an interesting avenue for you to look at if you're looking for more of a passive farm. Like I'm not trying to necessarily log in every day, but I want some exposure to the ecosystem.
I think this is like one of the reasons as to why a lot of people are fading Blast is because there's like so much going on. Like there's so much you can do. And I think that people are just like inherently overwhelmed by it. Like I'll even say that when I first heard about Blast and I like saw this whole thing, I was like, like I'm not like, it seemed like a lot, but I know Cyrus is basically taking like, this is like all he's doing. Like he's spending like all of his time, and it worked for Blur the first time, and I think that's like what the bull case is. Like a lot of people are saying like don't fade it because like it makes sense as to what is going on here. But I'm telling you this right now because we did talk like 2 weeks ago and I was a lot busier. I am planning on like sitting down this weekend and just like putting together what I think are like 6 or 7 things and just like, you know, half AFK, half active, and just like for 1 month, just do it. Generally, when you see people like Cyrus put like all their time and money into like a certain thing, it's generally like a bullish thing. So that's kind of like what I'm thinking. And it is interesting to hear that you say that you think that it may be like late May, because then it's like, okay, there's still like a full month. Like there is still like a lot of time to do this.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're literally at the end of April, and like, Crypto Gorilla, I don't know if you want to bring up your Blast dashboard, but I'll show you guys. There's like so much shit. So if you scroll to Multipliers, right next to DApp leaderboard, like, oh, you should do this, by the way. This will let you earn 4x points, but like scroll down.
I'm getting DMs right now, a bunch of people who are looking at my screen and giving me shit for not doing any of this stuff.
But if you scroll down, these are like all the multipliers that they still have to release before TGE. You know what I mean?
This is not just me. This is everybody can't see these.
Yeah, everyone can't see those, but you could at least activate the first 2. And so all you have to do is like sign a transaction, and I think like end up like you can do like a fucking $1 transaction, and you can actually like link a wallet and do that on like a cold degen wallet if you're skeptical about connecting your main one, and then you'll earn 4x points. Like your points will literally 2x once you activate that.
Got you.
And you'll be earning at a 4x rate.
I'm down to go in. I mean, like I'm sitting on 18. I've been pissed because it's locked, and either I have to use Orbiter, and well, if I want to bridge out, it takes 2 weeks, and I've just been lazy. Or I have to pay like the 2.3% fee on Orbiter. But no, I'll definitely deploy. I've just been wondering because I thought this meant that the gold was all done, and I was looking through these dApps. And like, oh, where can I?
Yeah, gold is getting distributed every 2 to 3 weeks. So like, there's a whole like if you go look at the Blast distribution too, there's like a whole round of like a fuck ton of gold is still going out. I think like 10 million gold has yet to go out.
But does the round 2, is that for the 3 weeks that just went by, or that's for the next 3 weeks? Okay, so I missed round 2 as well.
Yeah, but like some dApps might not allocate all of their second distribution to, like they'll probably save some to incentivize users that are like new, but like all the work that you start doing from now until the next distribution, like that's when you'll be rewarded for it. And there's like, you know, Ash, I know you're big into gaming, but like Cambria, YOLO games, if you're more on the degen Gamblefy side, are like really fun options to like get some fucking Blast gold. You know what I mean? Yeah,
YOLO, I did that before, like Looksrare, like they had like a YOLO thing, and I've seen like a lot of people have done this. I don't want to like derail too much, but like what was the deal with Crypto Valley? Like, because everyone was talking about that and it mooned and then it died. And I know you mentioned games, and that like kind of just popped in my head. So
yeah, so I think so I farmed Crypto Valleys a little bit, and I kind of caught it as it was mooning. So I was like, why is all the attention here? I kind of think it's a little bit of like a hardcore Ponzi. Like I know we jokingly call everything in this space a Ponzi, but like that is truly a Ponzi. Like the entire game is held up by this yield token that people are speculating on, and I'm seeing people do like $20,000 spins to get some fucking seeds to plant to farm more yield, which at some point they're going to either sell or stake. You know what I mean? So it's like hard to find like a concrete like full through line if the hype falls. And I think what had happened, from my understanding, was they made some announcements about like the future of the project that were like really bearish and poorly received, and then the token just dumped. So like that's like the TLDR there.
Yeah, the reason why I bring it up is just because I know that everybody was tweeting about this, And I just didn't want to get into it because I have seen these very similar types of games and they never end well. It's like you basically have to like get in and get out before like the inevitable happens.
It's
And
like DeFi
this,
kingdoms, right? Like
yeah,
very similar model. Yeah.
yeah. And this is like one of those things where this is a more like active farm, right?
Yeah, you
So
had to
you just,
get on and fucking harvest your crops and like stake and buy more seeds and yeah.
yeah. The reason why I brought that up is mainly just because I know with like some AFK farms, it's like a little bit easier and safer. And then with like some of the active ones, like there is like a little bit more risk to that.
Yeah. Well, like that's why I really like Cambria because Cambria is getting awarded gold based off of like the ETH volume wagered in the battles. Because it's PvP RuneScape vibes. Like if I put up 0.01 ETH, you have to match my stake and we battle for that 0.01 ETH. That to me is like a fun active farm. You know what I mean? Because you earn essence points and those essence points will get you access to like blast charges. Like they have a whole mechanism for it. But like as someone that has very little capital, like I have managed to deploy over an ETH worth of volume just by like logging in every few days and spending, 15 to 20 minutes like battling people.
But are you losing ETH because you're doing battles, right? And there's still some skill involved?
There's yeah. So there's like some modes that are definitely more skill based where you can like keep switch stancing and trying to like beat some of these hardcore gamers. And then there's other modes where it's just like all axe, all aggro, which is much more RNG based. Like my win ratio, I've like definitely lost much more than I've won, but I've also like won quite a few battles and then I'll just keep cycling those profits into the game. And it's like same thing with YOLO games. Like I do Moon or Doom, which is like 1 minute perps on betting whether the price of ETH goes up or down. And like my hit ratio on that is more or less like break even, but I'm also like just farming a fuck ton of points doing it too.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm like brain dumping. I hope that's okay. The
Yeah,
the other thing that I'll say is like a lot of these projects also have project tokens. So not only are you farming Blast, but it's like you're going to get exposure to the project token, which is why I'm like choose your category. It's like really think through what you want exposure to. Like something like YOLO games. Dude, I saw how Whirlbit performed on ETH mainnet. I want some YOLO tokens. You know what I mean? So lots of double farms here.
So if we could, because I do want to deploy, if we can just get like quickly, if there were 3 dApps that you would, or that you're currently doing, or that you would say, hey, pay attention to these, what would they be?
Oh, you're making it very hard because I just have to choose 3. On the DeFi side, I would say Wasabi or Blast Futures. And then gaming side, I know you said 3. So it's like Wasabi, Blast Futures, and then it's like, for me, Fantasy Top, Cambria, YOLO games. Like those are kind of like the 5 that I would look at. They continue to perform well, and I think they're going to just continue to get more and more gold with every distribution. So that's like kind of where you want to be.
What about things like Juice and Thruster? Can I just like, I don't know, put an ETH somewhere and just sit on it?
You could do that on Wasabi. You could also do it on Juice. The thing about Juice, though, is you're going to have to borrow against that ETH
Okay.
to actually deploy it into other vaults, which is totally fine. But I've also saw a lot of people get absolutely fucking wrecked because I think they give you up to 300% LTV on your loan. So if you put in 1 ETH, you can borrow up to 3x that value. But also if the price of ETH fucking tanks compared to where your farms are, you're going to get liquidated. So it's like, do it, but do it responsibly. And then for Thruster, like if you're comfortable with like providing liquidity to to trading pairs, then do it. But I often feel like most people who are newer to the space will just get wrecked off of like impermanent loss and not actually knowing how to actively manage their LP position.
Yeah, the other ones I heard of, I guess Orbit, I heard Easy talk about this one, but it's same thing, lending. So with Wasabi, that's kind of a passive one where I just put an ETH and I could sit on it?
Yep.
Okay.
Onto their earn vaults. The thing with Orbit too, like the reason why, like I was looking at Orbit around the time mainnet launched and ultimately ended up fading it is because of like their incentive structure. I think like Orbit already has its token, one. I'm more interested in projects that don't have a token yet, but a lot of their gold, to my understanding, is actually going to people who own the token and that are staking it. So like as an active participant on the platform, like that doesn't necessarily thrill me. Would much rather go somewhere where it's much, it's like there's no token yet.
And then I did want to, please let me know, because we're going over, please let me know if you have to leave. But I did want to talk about the NFT side because it's something you brought up. So I was really disappointed when they didn't launch with NFTs on Blur immediately. And then it's kind of a joke that OpenSea
yeah,
has NFTs before they do for their own, for Blast. So when do you think NFTs are going to go live? Because they did say April, but we're cutting it close here. I don't know, there's 4 days or 5 days left.
I mean, one speculation is gold and points will come to NFTs and these other native assets when Blur goes live. Like, I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I'm like, that's actually really interesting thought process. I guess we'll see until next Monday. I would be really, really shocked if Pac-Man and Blur like missed a pretty big launch deadline like this. And they still have a few more days, but I think I know that they're working on it is all I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I've been using Element. I know it's live on OpenSea. There's also Mintify where you could trade them. I think Element now has they're doing aggregation, right? So I see some for OpenSea here. So if there's any collections, are you bullish on any collections? I mean, especially if Blur adds, hey, similar to if you bid on collections, if you're listing them, you get points. I assume some of these are gonna go wild. The ones that I recognize is like Blast Hoods, there's Back, and Crypto Valley. Those are two that did really well because there's games. I had many Blast Runners that I minted. It like nuked twice. It was really unfortunate. They nuked, they came back strong, and then same. I had listed and it didn't hit. It went just under. They had a really cool game though. I was hoping they're going to be a wolf game. And then two that I've actually recently purchased that are doing really well are Blastopians and New Blast City. And I did see you posted something. I have it in my notes here. You posted something about using both your NFTs with Wasabi.
Yeah. So I have Blastopians, I have New Blast City. I've kind of just sprayed everywhere because the NFTs have been relatively cheap. But Wasabi, so are you guys familiar with 404s?
Yeah.
Remember all that craze? Wasabi has brought BT 404, which is the 404 standard from FLC, from Flooring Protocol, over to Blast. And now Wasabi has figured out how to natively wrap any Blast NFT into a 404. And so with Blastopians, which is the first project they're doing that with, you can actually take your Blastopians, wrap that into a 404 and deposit that to the Wasabi vaults. And that's going to be later, I think utilized for their leverage trading on Blastopians. So you'll be able to long or short Blastopians as an overall collection, which is why we're seeing that pump in floor price is because of this integration.
That's really cool. Yeah, they're currently up a 3x. And you right here, if you do it within, I guess now it's down to 48 hours. If you do it, you get a 2x boost.
For earning in the Wasabi vaults on your deposits.
Okay, not for gold, but for Wasabi.
But Wasabi is going to be distributing
gold. For their distribution. Got it.
Yeah.
Somebody in the audience here said, did you see that screen on, I guess it's District 1, the one you mentioned, in which it's written D1 and Fantasy Top will get almost 800K gold for the second phase. Is 800K a lot?
It's the second largest distribution. So Thruster was the first with like over 1 million.
600.
Well, in the second distribution, I think they got
you.
over 1 million. And then next were District 1 and Fantasy Top.
Got you. So please go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say on the NFT trading, how is the Element marketplace? Because when I first was using it, it was really bad, and I've just been using Mintify ever since.
I mean, it's missing features. I don't think you could sweep, so you have to manually. I don't think you can add to cart or anything. You have to buy them one by one, but it's been fine. It does the job. Okay, no, there is a sweep mode right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's been fine. It just when it originally came out, there was too much traffic, so you couldn't even load the page.
Got it. Yeah, because I just remember I was like, this is brutal, and then I
Yeah,
never
no,
opened
no.
the app again.
Yeah, it wasn't good at first, but they've done a good job. I haven't bought a Blast NFT on OpenSea, I don't think. And then I'm familiar with Mintify. I've spoken to the founders, good guys. So it's cool that they added support as well.
Yeah,
But, when Blur comes in, they're just going to be king.
I think so too. That's
Yeah.
why it's like I'm not really trying to farm NFT marketplaces personally, but
Are you accumulating NFTs though? On
yeah,
Blast?
yeah. So like I said, it's like I minted Blastopians, I minted New Blast City, actually I missed the mint for Hood, so I picked it up on secondary. I think I have some Blast Runners. I also have some Blast Snipers, like literally just, kind of spraying everywhere because again, like they're so cheap. And I
Yeah.
think NFTs obviously pump when they announce gold for NFTs.
Yeah, there
these
was
are
another.
kinda
There was
cool.
like Blast Penguins, right?
Yeah, I didn't get into that one.
Me neither. We
I
did have the collab, but
I just feel like derivative projects, I think like with the exception of Blastopians, because what sets Blastopians aside for me is ESK and the fact that like it's him and his alpha group that are behind this project. I'm kind of like, and they don't totally look like CryptoPunks in their entirety, you know what I mean? But
people are calling these the crypto punks of Blast, though. To me, these are like a mix of punks and like Nakamigos or something.
yeah, exactly. Like that's definitely the vibe.
Yeah, but I picked up these, and then I picked up New Blast City.
Nice.
I had a call
New
with the New
Blast,
Blast City guys. They were cool.
I was gonna say they have staking, so you should for sure stake your New Blast City NFTs on their site to get like some points and gold if they get gold in the future. And then your Blastopians, like I would stick those in Wasabi, because why not?
So not Blastopian staking, Wasabi staking.
Yes, because you'll still earn if your Blastopians have a streak from the native Blastopian staking, you'll still earn that when you deposit it over to Wasabi because of the official partnership.
Gotcha. I picked them up a couple days ago, so I don't. Unless the streak carries on the NFT itself, I wouldn't have any streak.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I can look and get back to you on that.
And then the last thing I wanted to cover was just Pac-Moon. I mean, you've been crushing it. I see you on the leaderboard there. You're having a battle. You dropped this really great video with Min, and then he remixed it recently.
Yeah, we that was a fun one. We've just kind of been trolling each other on the timeline, and it's just been a fun way to like create Pac-Moon content. I love Pac-Moon because it's like it was a fair launch. Majority of it's going over to creators. And if you look at the leaderboard now, there's like a ton of accounts that are much smaller that have just been like fucking grinding and they're going to get rewarded with this airdrop. And I just think that, where else have we seen that? And like, so for those of you guys who don't know, how you farm Pac-Moon is you create quality content about Pac-Moon, you post it on X, and if the team goes and likes your post, it's then eligible to start earning points to get you on this leaderboard. So it's like, if you're half-ass social farming, you're not going to get rewarded for that. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of a quality filter on it, which is sick.
Yeah, I really like how they did this. And a lot of the projects that are doing this social farming that I talk to, they all bring up Pac-Moon. I think, getting content like what you did and what Min did and some of the other people are doing, it's so much more valuable than just people, tweeting your ticker along with 7 other tickers. And all it does, it gets you numbers, and in exchange, like, looks at you and you're like, oh, we got mentioned 4 million times. Like, yeah, that's cool, but this is real.
Yeah.
People actually look into the project and people actually put effort into their content.
Yeah. When are you guys gonna start making some Pac-Moon content? I want to see it.
I posted one. I mean, I have my previous ones. I think I only did one tweet about it. Yeah, there you go. I got 15K views.
Let's go.
But my airdrop too I mean, I only had, I did the calculations. I think I made like 10 cents a point or something. It was crazy. It was the payout was insane.
Yeah, dude, that like literally so I was rank 1 for season 2, which was crazy because like I've never been rank 1 anything in my life before. But that airdrop literally like changed my life in terms of like I sold some, you take profits because I'm like, cool, this pays the bills for the next month, but like I had made enough money that it's like I don't really have to worry. Like I'm like, if the chart stays up and like stays healthy, like I don't really have to worry about, bringing in capital for the next year, and I can do that if I want, but I'm actually just using my pack moon to farm even more, which is like, again, I'm gunning for as much blast gold as I can humanly possibly get. So
yeah. So how exactly does that work with a coin like pack moon? How are you farming with pack moon?
So there it goes back to like, we know Blast points in gold are coming to Blast native assets. I would be shocked if pack moon wasn't included in that, just because of like, they're literally like the #1 token on Blast right now. But they have a ton of DeFi integration. So I'm LPing a little bit of pack moon and ETH on Thruster, and I'm like double farming that with another platform called Hyperlock. It's like very much like the curve convex relationship, if you're familiar with that over on the DeFi side of things. I have pretty much majority of my pack moon in Wasabi, just staked passively. And I pull a little bit out here and there to go fuck around with on YOLO games, where I'm earning points and increasing my leaderboard. So there's just like a ton of little things that you can do to get Blast Gold using pack moon that you got for free, which I think is like, if you have absolutely no capital, it's like grind on making some dope content, get the next pack moon airdrop, and use that to farm Blast.
Yeah, there's 4 days left. Do you know if they're going to have a season 4?
I think I would be shocked if not. We'll see. I know they're like cooking up something, so I think we can see another season.
Yeah, that'd be great. No, I definitely need to. I'll hit you up because I need all this info. I got to start farming. Everybody in my comments, I have like 7 messages on Discord right now, all about this. I appreciate you coming on. This was great. Anybody, let me pull up your Twitter again. Go follow her. It's Jen Defer. Did I say that correctly? Yeah. Give her a follow. She's been making great content, specifically on Blast.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that pinned video at the top, like that is a fairly new one, but that's like everything I'm farming and just like high level overviews on the platforms and like capital that I've deployed in high level strategies. So if you're curious, like check that out. I think it's a good starting point.
Yeah, both on YouTube and Twitter. Yeah, you post your content, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I really appreciate you being here. Thank you, everybody in the audience. We make these shows every Friday at 10:30 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So be sure to tune in and check out everybody on stage's content because we all make dope videos. Appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you, Jen, for being here. See you guys next week. Peace.
Let's go. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course.